So I want to talk about Russia. I was watching a video from a channel called Crux, and I like they do a lot of good work on Russia, Ukraine. They post a lot of good content, and so I just wanted to kind of cover a video they did. I was just watching, and check one two, and I wanted to cover a video they posted showing Russia's nuclear first strike capability. I'm gonna play a little bit of that. So they're Satan. They have and all of their nukes are unstoppable. So that's the first thing I want to just add. Like everything in their arsenal is unstoppable. There are no missile defense programs that can stop any of the Russian nukes. And so I'll let that play while I kind of give some commentary. And they also made some comments for NATO to stop supplying Ukraine with weapons, and they said that if they didn't, that they would retaliate in unforeseen ways, right? And in this video, they show all of Russia's nuclear capabilities, right? Last month, right here, they point out that last month Russia tested something called the Satan rocket, which is Satan 2. It was the Satan 1 and the Satan 2. Satan 2, obviously, it can hit any site anywhere on the earth and hit it with 15 warheads, separate warheads in one rocket. So it could pretty much annihilate, like, let's say, the east coast of the United States with one Satan 2 rocket. And I mean, so in this video, they just show like the Russians have spent maybe 25 years developing a hypersonic nuclear missile program, probably the most advanced missile program in the world. Pretty much everything they have is, if it's not nuclear capable, I mean, everything they have is compatible, is hybrid. It can use conventional or nuclear warheads. And mostly everything they have is hypersonic, right? Meaning it's fast enough to evade missile defense. So there's no missile defense um, for Russian missiles, conventional or otherwise. So they could hit you with a conventional missile, hypersonic conventional or hypersonic nuke. It doesn't matter. You couldn't stop it. And you couldn't see it coming. So they have hypersonic glide missiles, right? And in with these hypersonic glide missiles, they can glide close to the ground, right? And they can evade radar, evade detection. I mean, and then hit you so fast that you wouldn't even know what happened. So, yeah, the avant-garde, right? It's a hypersonic glide missile. So I just want to talk about that real quick. So I did some remote viewing, and I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post that more of the RV. I did 2 remote viewing sessions on to try to develop a time frame on when, because they're gonna. It's no doubt that they're gonna strike NATO, right? There's no doubt about that. Like I don't doubt Putin's resolve that when he says if they don't stop, and the United States just sent $33 billion. They're gonna send $33 billion in weapons and money to Ukraine probably within the next couple of weeks, right? They've already, and Russia's already said they don't stop it, and then they're gonna, something's gonna happen. Then the UK came out and said that the Ukrainians should attack Russia, targets inside Russia, with the military gear that they are giving the Ukrainian army. So, and Russia said if they attack inside our country with these weapons you're giving them, if they kill our soldiers and attack our country with these weapons you're giving them, we're going to take that as an act of war. And that's going to have unforeseen consequences. We all know what they mean, right? That means they're going to strike the U.S. and they're going to strike the U.K. for saying that and for giving them those weapons. And the reason why I've came to that conclusion, I did some remote viewing of two. I'm going to publish both of those. Two remote viewings I've done of the target. The target I created was a Russian strike on a U.S. target, and then I wanted to create a time marker, and I said, give me a preceding event or time marker, right, on both of them. And what I came up with from the two remote viewings I've done, that is definitely gonna be, they're definitely gonna do it, and that it will be sort of like a Pearl Harbor type event, and it's gonna be soon. Like I'm thinking between the winter 2023 and probably summer 2022. That's my window for, based on what I'm seeing on the remote viewing. Also, there was a Irish psychic, I forgot his name. It was an Irish psychic. He predicted that, and I published the links to his prediction. He predicted that Russia would destroy the UK and Israel. He predicted this in like 1945, something like that, 1950. I can't. Cyril. He was like a palm reader and something else, but in psychic, and he was very accurate. Like the dude had a very good hit rate. Like this guy was really, really, really good. And he made a prediction. He said in the future, Russia will destroy. Cairo was his name. I think his name was Cairo. He was from Ireland, and he was very famous. He did readings for people like Mark Twain and all kinds of famous. I think Winston Churchill, all kinds of famous people, and they said he was like spot on. Like this guy had like a super high hit rate with remote viewing and things like that. If you get 50%, 60%, you're pretty much A-class remote viewer, right? This guy was hitting like probably in the 80s, 90% from what I understand. And what he predicted was that Cairo predicted that Russia in the future, and this was in the 40s, they would attack London, destroy London with obviously with missiles. And he also predicted that Russia would destroy Israel, right? Would be one of the groups, I guess a Russian alliance, right? Allied alliance. They would lead an alliance that would destroy the state of Israel and break the back of the Israeli regime, Zionist regime. He predicted this in like 1940, 1945, 1950, something like that. And if you look at what happened yesterday, where the Israelis went bananas, right, and the world went bananas because the Russian foreign minister said that the Israelis, and there are some, and the Jews are, basically involved in Nazism and have been. So, they're not beyond reproach when it comes to saying, like, for instance, Zelensky in Ukraine is, basically, a Nazi, a Zion Nazi, and is in bed with the Nazi, a bunch of neo-Nazis in Ukraine. And so he made a statement about that. and Russia, the Israelis lost their mind. All the Jews lost their mind, and Israelis, and they've been coming out condemning Russia, calling them anti-Semites, etc., etc. That's a whole nother story. But it ties into what the psychic said about the Russians, the becoming very in the Israelis becoming um, enemies, and Russia leading a coalition to eventually destroy the state of Israel. And so, and then Russia is very good allies with Syria, who Israel is attacking on a daily basis with missile strikes. And so they've been telling the Syrians basically not to strike back, because they've given the Syrians weapons, systems that could shoot down Russian jets, but they won't let them shoot them down. And so to escalate things, I think now moving forward, you'll see an escalation where the Syrians will go after any jets coming in their country. There will be more. It will be a more vicious resistance to that, and using the Russian S-400 missile systems that are supposedly the best in the world. So if they're the best in the world, they should be shooting down all the Israeli jets. The only reason they can't be is if the Russians are telling them stand down. So it'll be interesting to watch this as it unfolds, because it looks like, one, the remote viewing I did was correct, that this whole situation will escalate. Will escalate, and that there will be strikes inside of the U.S. What I'm seeing in my remote viewing results is winter. Like it's gonna be cold when it starts. I'm seeing like, yeah, I'm saying like it may take some time, but it could come sooner. But definitely, from what I'm getting on my results, is between now and winter 2023. So between now, I would say May 2022 and January 2020. I'm sorry, January 2023, that the Russians are gonna attack. They're gonna do missile strikes on the U.S. and the UK, maybe some other places in Europe, and then after that, they're probably gonna go after. Something's gonna happen, and they're gonna go after. They're gonna, I guess, along with their Arab allies and the Iranians. Right after that, they're gonna go after Israel, and they're gonna be, based on what the psychic is saying, and also it's in the Bible, right? That the troops, I believe, I forget the exact quote, but in the Bible it says the enemies of Israel will encompass them all the way to the city of Jerusalem, and then the psychic Cairo, I believe, said that too, right? And I agree. They'll they'll probably go right into the city of Jerusalem. They're gonna overrun the state of Israel, and it's gonna be destroyed. So yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit. Like I said, I'm gonna come back and post that some video of one of my remote viewings that I did of the targets, and I'll post that probably later on. But that's all I got for now.